So I'm finally ready, to talk about this. So my word for the year is gratefulness. I'm supposed to be in a state of living in a state of gratefulness. And so when I fasted at the beginning of the year, God told me that I immediately realized that it was not going to be what I was hoping it to be. I was hoping it to be that God was going to give me all these miracles so that I would always have something to be grateful for. Like, I had made it in my mind that I was going to see and experience a lot of miracles this year. And it has not been that. It's been literally staying in a space of gratefulness and having to learn to trust God when the image and the vision that I thought my life was going to be like, I thought I had for my life, began to crumble. And the crumbling began last year when I went back to school and felt like the rug had been pulled from under me when a lot of things happened regarding my support system. People lost jobs, they had to move away. It was just a lot of churn, a lot of turmoil. And I gave God my yes. I was like, okay, God, you said go back to school. I took the LSAT, I applied, and I was like, if you want me to go, I need some money to go. And so I got a partial scholarship at the school I currently attend. And literally it's been hard. Law school is hard anyway, but it's a different kind of hard because it's mostly virtual. So I'm having to do tons of discussion boards, which I can look back and laugh because I took one virtual class in the summer of 2016 when I was pregnant with my son. And then I went to all 4 of my classes in person in the fall of 2016, took and passed the NPRE. And then when I had him, I had intended to go the spring semester and just do virtual classes because I was like, well, I can at least manage that and still go and have him. Then when everything happened with the school, them being put on the probation by ABA, I was like, I needed financial aid. I had planned to live off of financial aid and just try to make things work. And when that didn't work, I had to go back to work. And so I thank God for giving me a mind to be able to be a software engineer and just a love for solving problems in that way because it sustained me. So when I had to withdraw from school that February because it was too hard with a newborn as a single parent, trying to respond to all these discussion forums on time, it felt impossible. And now that's my literal life. I have in-person class 3 days a week via Zoom, and the rest is async material. I still have to do all the reading. I have way more quizzes and stuff now, so it's much harder than it was the first time I was in school. And but everything I had envisioned in my mind about going back to school, I'm gonna have a support system. I'm gonna be able to take him here and be able to focus and be able to study. That hasn't been happening. Like, thank goodness my son likes video games, so I'll let him play a video game here and there. I still have a really demanding job, and so I really feel like a lot of times I'm hanging on by a thread. And so I'm gonna show y'all, like, I have like all these scriptures and stuff, and it's some on my mirror too. I have all of these scriptures and faith-based affirmations that I say and I see every time I come in here. When I'm wrapping my hair, I'm pinning my hair, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm washing my face, I'm seeing them and I'm saying them because I really need to trust God. I need to hold on to knowing that I can trust God, knowing that even though it's nothing but chaos at times around me, I can trust God. I Even when I went back to school last fall, I put him in baseball, and baseball was crazy demanding. Like, practice 2 to 3 times a week. Then when the season actually began, had 2 games a week, and then still had 2 days of practice, and I still had three days of school. So I got through that somehow, and I didn't get through it how I wanted to get through it. Like, I figured, I know what I didn't do well at the first time I was in school. And in one class, I got the exact same grade I got the first time, with the difference being it's a different delivery mechanism. It's a lot of things that, to me, need to be worked on with the program itself. But I did the inner work at the beginning of the year. Like, I went and did a ADD, ADHD assessment, was diagnosed with anxiety. I really believe it's just performance anxiety, in which now I've learned a lot of ways to cope and deal with it. So I can say that in spite of all the chaos, God has given me things to be grateful for. Like, I did significantly better in the spring, and I pulled my GPA up, and I have finals, one tomorrow and one on Thursday. And I'm praying that I keep it up so I can stay in school. But what I really wanted to address is the fact that, like, this year, I have been having to combat disappointment. And I'm like, well, God, you told me my word for the year was gratefulness. How do those two things even align? How do they even match? Like, I am disappointed because a lot of things that I envision for my life are not turning out the way that they are. I'm grieving things that I wanted to have, and things I believed I was going to have, and dealing with isolation because I have to study. Like, I already work remotely, so I'm already home all day long by myself anyway. And then coupling, being in school, an hour and a half, 2 hours a night, and then still having to study and read, and still having to, try to perform well at work. And I just felt this great sense of disappointment, because it's like, God, I gave you my yes. I told you yes. I've been doing what you told me to do. In every area of my life, I feel like I've been surrendering and submitting it to you. But what God told me is that I didn't trust everything to him. Like, I'm very much a self-sufficient person. I am the classic, prototypical eldest daughter. And so I am highly independent, in the sense of, like, I'm a get it done type of person. Like, if somebody else is not getting it done, I'm gonna step up and get it done, just because I don't like delays. I want to get stuff done so I can move on to the next thing. And what I've come to realize is that mentality does not leave room for God. Doesn't leave room for God to send people in my life to help me and to bless me, or to encourage me. Since I'm so solution oriented, so problem solving oriented, it doesn't leave room for God to do things in the way he wants to do them. And I've been doing the Draw the Circle prayer fast since 2014. And this year, God has told me there are some things that are coming back on the horizon for me. And I'm like, I don't even see how I can add that to my plate, considering where I'm at right now. And so I believe I'm supposed to share that, one, disappointment is part of the journey of shedding those things, those weights that will keep you from trusting God. I have been disappointed because I had a plan. And key thing here is I had a plan. I had a vision and a hope for my life. I had hoped that God would right a lot of wrongs, or right a lot of things for me. Specifically, number one thing is the whole school thing. Like, God told me to go to law school back in 2011 after my dad died. And I obeyed. I went to school. I moved. I uprooted my whole life and moved to New Orleans. Only for God to tell me my second semester, you're going to be out of school for some time, but you're going to be okay. And me thinking, oh, it's only going to be a semester. No, I was out of school from spring 2015 to summer 2016. And then I've been out from spring of 2017 to fall of 2023. So I was out of school for 6 years. And that door closed, and it was a very painful thing, to the point of like, I know I'm gonna go back eventually. I was fully planning on waiting until my child graduated from high school, so that way, one, it wouldn't be a burden to us. But you know how God is. When he wants you to do something, when it's about him, God will break you. Like, and this has been a breaking season for me. Like, he's been breaking a lot of stuff off of me, so that way he can get the glory, because this is about him. Me being in school is about God getting the glory. It's not about, oh, I figured it out, and you know, I had babysitters, I had family, I had all of these people. And yes, y'all know me. I'm gonna glorify God and give God the glory, because God is the one. But ultimately, it would have been some pride wrapped up in there that I did this in and of myself. When the truth is, I pray every single day. I give my relationships, my job, school, I give everything back to God every day, because I'm just like, God, I don't know what to do. But God told me that I was not trusting him with everything. And I could see that clear as day. You know, I wasn't trusting God with everything. I was trying to do things on my own strength. I was making things about what I wanted instead of how God wants to do things. And so I am grateful for that, because if he went to such great lengths of disappointment and nearly losing hope for a lot of things, if he went to such great lengths to deliver me from those things, I can only imagine what he has in store for me coming soon. So if you're in a season of disappointment and discouragement, first thing I encourage you to do, of course, is to pray and ask the Holy Spirit to reveal what exactly God is trying to do. It could be that God is trying to break you of you, like he's been doing me. He's been breaking me of myself, like letting me, showing me, you know, my humanity, showing me the areas that I need to grow and mature, showing me the areas that I need to surrender and let go. Like I have to surrender me. I have to surrender school, work, my health, my mental health, my physical health. Like, it's a lot of things in my life not going the way that I wanted them to go. Another example, I had worked out like nearly 200, maybe 250 days last year, and I didn't lose a single pound. And I got so discouraged, because I'm like, I'm putting in all this time and effort, and it makes me feel good, don't get me wrong, but I'm not seeing the results. And what it boils down to most often is our motive. What is your motive behind what you're doing? What is the motive behind what you want? Is it because you want to replace a painful memory? Or is it because you want to be patted on the back? Is it because you want to be acknowledged? Is it because you want to be rewarded for your good work? Is it because you want to be recognized? And some of these things are human. Some of these things are normal, and there's nothing wrong with desiring these things. But if those motives are trying to replace what God is doing in your life, you're not going to get what you're supposed to get from it. So take a lesson from me in my season of disappointment and make room for God. Let God break you and deliver you of those things that are keeping you separated from him, and leave room and space for God to blow your mind. So, I hope that this blesses you. Have a good night. Bye.